Hello, everybody. I'm Cam. That's Graham, and welcome back to I'm Cam. That's Graham. So today we are doing a look at every NFL team's future moving forward, but we're going to speed run it so it's not an hour long.
The NFL this season is just a wild, just everything changes. We have teams that we thought were going to be nothing be good, and teams that we thought were going to be top threes are struggling to win games.
And now we're looking further than that, 2, 3, 5 years into the future. First, we have the Miami Dolphins. In terms of future, if Tua stays, none. If Devon A-Chain keeps doing what he's doing, Jalen Waddle, they have a lot of young pieces. I think they have a solid future, but not anywhere towards the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you start with, like you said, Tua. If Tua stays there, their future is continuing the cycle of losing games. So, yeah, that's the best way to put it.
And we have Buffalo. As long as Josh Allen is there, they're always going to be a Super Bowl contender. That's my everything.
And as long as the Chiefs keep doing what they're doing, which is not much.
Now we have the New England Patriots. Drake, May. And now we have the New York Jets. The Jets, no.
No future in
They have a lot of draft picks, but they're going to just mess them up. We know they are. They're the Jets. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jets are the Jets. It's so bad. Next up, we got the Houston Texans.
Just going to cut it straight. CJ Stroud healthy. Great playoff contenders. I do not see them going anywhere near the Super Bowl, though, with the squad on their team. But they are always a playoff team, in my opinion.
Playoff team, maybe second round exits. At least win one. Yeah. Indianapolis Colts.
Well, quarterback future is questionable, especially with Daniel Jones out with an Achilles tear, R.I.P. Jonathan Taylor, if he continues to do Jonathan Taylor things, that's great. Tyler Warren looks promising. Their defense looks promising. I think I'm excited for the Colts' future.
Yeah, that's, like you said, Jonathan Taylor is the main star of that team, and nothing's going to change there. Moving on to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If Travis Hunter performs like he did in Colorado, they should be a playoff team for the next 5 years, but I don't think he's going to live up to the expectations, unfortunately. That being said, I think they are going to make the playoffs every other year.
The Jaguars are going places, and it was actually a pleasant surprise to see them be a legit contender within their division, because last year that was not at all the case, and seeing some good progress is good.
And Liam Cohen is going to take that team far.
Yeah. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans.
No, not really.
Not really much of a future there. Cam Ward may be the guy, but there's
just too many holes on the team to see any sort of success in the next 10 years.
Right.
Moving on, we have the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix looks pretty good. He is quite old for a second-year quarterback. However, with younger players on the defense, I think they'll be good for the next at least 4 years.
That Denver defense is always what you're looking at with that team is really, but their offense is on an upturn right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have some promise in the future.
I mean, some people you don't expect to see, like Troy Franklin, is balling out this year.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Chargers next.
Chargers, there's some promise.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert definitely doing better this year than in years past. Looking towards the future, I don't really know, just based on because they do have some older players on that team that they won't have in a couple seasons. So it's going to be a question of if they can find suitable replacements for the older guys that can keep the pace going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I don't think the Chargers get a single playoff win in the next 4 years. And that is because of the receiver core. Now, the receiver core as a whole is not bad. but they don't really have a superstar. Like, they just have a lot of, like, I don't want to say mid, but, like, yeah, mid-tier talent at receiver. And
they have 3 wide receiver 2s.
Right. I mean, until they find, like, the guy on the offense, they are kind of stuck in a hole. And now we have the Kansas City Frauds.
Yeah, they lied their way into 3 Super Bowls. Just take them out of playoffs, and it's nothing's lost.
How I see this is, it goes one of 2 ways. Patrick Mahomes builds great chemistry with his new receivers. Travis Kelce retires, and they make the playoffs. But due to losing, Patrick Mahomes' favorite target his whole career, they don't really make it very far in the playoffs. And I think that's going to continue until they find a superstar running back or tight end.
I think before Mahomes can get a better relationship with his receivers, they need to get a better relationship with law enforcement before any of that happens.
That's true. I mean, they're basically just playing GTA out there.
Yeah.
And now we have the Raiders. Genty looks good.
In terms of future, there is no future.
As the team stands right now, it's not very good.
No.
If this was the team, they're never doing anything. But they could draft a quarterback this year that could change everybody's perspective going forward. And with that high of a draft pick, you got to think of, like, the best quarterback in college football, Mendoza, Dante Moore, players like that. And it just comes down to if you think one of those guys will be enough to boost the Raiders. I think it will be close, but not close enough. I see a lot of 6 wins, 8, 7
lower.
wins. Yeah, I don't see them having a winning season for 3 years.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, as it is right now, this might be the worst team as a future I've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers, he's 47 years old. He's washed.
I think he's finally retiring, at least.
And the thing is, they'll never get that quarterback because they're always going 9-8.
Right.
And you can't get a really good quarterback that late unless you're the Ravens. But we don't really talk about that.
You don't get a good quarterback that late. And when they're picking up quarterbacks in free agency, I feel like they're just going to the local retirement home and picking up who's left.
It's really just Mac Jones or nothing at this point. Or, like, you try out Will Howard, see how he does. But as an Ohio State fan, I never really saw Will Howard turning out in the NFL.
Will Howard was just like, he just had the best receivers around him that was helping him be good.
And now we have the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns, there's work to be done. Shador looks really good. I was completely wrong. I said that Shador was going to just be another washed-up Browns quarterback. He looked pretty good in the past 3 games. Granted, those weren't the toughest teams to beat, but he was able to ball out pretty good.
I'm excited, really, really excited for the future of this team. Shador Sanders, Quinshon Judkins, Carson Schlesinger, all of those players should be on the team for at least 7 years. You hear that, Cleveland Browns? Do not let any of those players go. They are franchise players.
Let Stefanski go
and
instead. It'll help you.
They were all in the same draft. And if we have another draft like that, they are a for sure playoff contender for the next few years.
Honestly, though, looking at this year's draft, you're not going to have another draft like that. This year's draft class is not good.
Yeah.
We have a video on that.
Speaking of not good, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who just lost in heartbreaking fashion to the Buffalo Bills.
I think that game was definitely showing what's going to be at least a first, second round playoff game.
Yeah.
But, the Bengals have a way to go still.
Yeah, as long as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are on that team, they always have a promising playoff push.
And I think something that the Bengals should consider looking towards the future, sign a better secondary quarterback. Joe Flacco's pretty good, but again, he's old. He's not going to be in the league too much longer. But if you're worried about Joe Burrow getting hurt and then your team losing every game for the next 6 weeks, there's problems that you have to work with.
And now we have the Ravens. Very, very strong looking forward. In terms of, Lamar Jackson, he's still pretty young. He's still got a lot in him. But the team around him is old. DeAndre Hopkins, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, they're all getting up there in age. And they need some young studs.
Yeah. I mean, Zay Flowers is kind of in that younger boat,
Yeah.
but he's one guy. He can only do so
He doesn't
much.
get enough targets,
Right.
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't realize what they have in Zay Flowers. He's one of the more elusive. He could juke left, right, almost any player in the league, and they're just not utilizing him.
Yeah. Moving on to the Green Bay Packers.
Well, Jordan Love, he's 27 years old, as Tom Grossi would say 27.
The 27 curse with the Packers has been a funny one this year.
However, 27 isn't forever, and I don't think the Packers, besides Micah Parsons, I'll give Micah Parsons his flowers, but besides him, they don't really have much of a future.
Yeah, not really. Again, it's another team. A lot of them are getting up there in age.
Yeah.
They're not going to have that much for much longer, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do moving forward. Moving on to the Detroit Lions.
Now, this is a very promising team and has been. It's a matter of Ben Johnson's gone, and that is the biggest change for the Lions this season and will affect them until they eventually fall off. But Jameer Gibbs, young. Aiden Hutchinson, young. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, young. Sam Laporta, young. They have a lot of young studs, and they're going to be a good playoff team for at least 9-10 years.
The main problem you look at with Detroit is Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Is how long does he have? Who are you picking up next? So if they can figure that out, yeah, playoff team for at least the next 9-10 years.
In my opinion, Jared Goff has always played like an old quarterback, so I think he could stick with it for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, is he the next Aaron Rodgers? Moving on to the Chicago Bears.
I mean, when you talk about a promising future, you got to talk about the Bears. Caleb Williams looks awesome. I mean, last year, this year with Ben Johnson, so many good things are headed towards the Bears' way.
This team moving towards actually the number 1 seed in the NFC right now. If you told me last year, hey, Caleb Williams is in the running for that, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah.
And probably just a coping Bears fan.
Yeah.
But this year, it's been impressive to see what he's doing with this team.
And what's also crazy about it all is DeAndre Swift is playing well. And people have been hating on DeAndre Swift for the past 3-4 years.
That's just because when he was on the Eagles, he was playing for the Eagles. He didn't get the ball.
Yeah.
Ever. So, yeah, I think Swift is definitely doing way better now. And this team has a future.
And now we have the Vikings. Quarterback,
For me, it's, that I call him 9.
not really much of a future.
Quarterback-wise, 2 out of 10. Receivers, solid 7.
Yeah, so I'll say next 3 years they'll struggle until they find their guy.
Because J.J. McCarthy is not a good quarterback.
I call him 9.
But what he is 9.
9.
And now we have the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they're a bit iffy in some places in terms of Christian McCaffrey. He's, really good. One of the best offensive players in the NFL. However, oldness with injury prone doesn't mix very well. And I see a few more injuries coming his way, which I apologize for.
The collective age of this team is not one of the main problems. They are definitely one of the older teams in the league. And like you were talking about with the injuries, I think there's actually something that needs to be looked into in San Francisco of why is our whole team getting injured every season? Because this is not a new thing.
And why does nobody want to play for us like Brandon Ayuk?
Because if they play for him, it basically includes at least one ACL tear.
They're not going to be a Super Bowl contender.
No.
And now we have the Seattle Seahawks. Yes, they have a future.
Seahawks are looking good.
And the future is 3 letters. JSN. That's
Yeah, it
it.
doesn't matter who's throwing it. It works.
All right, next we have the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, hear me out. Jacoby Brissett
Hear me out. Get rid of
a-
Kyler Murray and it'll be fine.
Here's what I see. Just eliminate the run game. They don't need it. I mean, they haven't been doing it. And Jacoby Brissett just completed the most passes in the NFL history in one
Right.
game. Jacoby Brissett is an absolute dog, a gunslinger. I miss him on the Browns, even though I love Shador. But the Cardinals do not have a promising future unless they get Jeremiah Love, which I did have him going to the Cardinals in our way too early mock draft. Wink, wink. You should go look at that.
Yeah, there's things that, there's a couple things that are promising, Jacoby Brissett being the main one, but you have a lot of problems that you have to address if you want the Cardinals to make any kind of playoff run.
And they just got to use their superstars, what they know and love. Their bread and butter. They're Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. And now we have the Rams. Matthew Stafford is not a long-term guy. So in terms of quarterback future, it's a little bit iffy. But I will
Looking
say
at especially receiver future
they are a Super Bowl contender for
this
like
year.
2 years. But then after that, it's going to get scary.
Yeah, well, when you say that the Rams are in the Super Bowl contender with how we were talking about the Bears right now, they're another one of them. This is actually like a weird NFC year, so if things go back to normal next year, who knows what we see, but this year, yeah. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints.
Well, no. They are old everywhere. They don't have enough draft picks for what they need. So, that being said, no future.
I'm not going to turn this into a hate segment about how Sunday's game went. That's its own story, and I'll get to that in the Buccaneers segment. But looking at the Saints, there is a future, but like Kamara's getting old. Their quarterback situation is scary right now. Tyler Shock is all right, but Spencer Rattler, no. And there's still a lot of problems that have to be addressed here. On to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Where do I even start with this team? You've got a very stacked offense that could be good, except you have the problem of Mike Evans is getting close to retirement. I hate admitting it, but he's getting older. He's not even playing as much. He's been dealing with more and more injuries. You have to look towards the future, mainly in Emeka Ibuka, Tez Johnson.
And not Todd Bowles?
Hopefully, that's the goal. Is if they see, because the Buccaneers defense, moving on, is not the best unit in the league by far, but they are a pretty passable squad. It's the defensive play calling that is being thrown into this team that's just... Todd Bowles cannot call a defense. When you get fired from the New York Jets as head coach, you know there's a problem here.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want Todd Bowles to get fired?
12.
Okay. That's not 1 through 10, but I'll accept it. And you know what else you'll accept? The Carolina Panthers being at the top of the division.
We'll see if that stands. The Panthers' end of the year schedule is like where it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But at that point, right now you do have to give credit to Bryce Young doing really good now. If this was last year, we would have been saying that, because I remember you and I were saying that he needed to go.
Yeah.
He was not the guy in Carolina, and there was a problem here, but This year, it seems like it's a different story.
That's probably one of the best feelings you can feel as a quarterback.
Is overcoming and being right back to it.
And one of the best feelings you can feel as a running back is being Bijan Robinson. That being said, Falcons, I think they're pretty promising. Michael Penix, Drake London, Bijan, all young, all studs. And I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, there's a future in Atlanta. Maybe some changes need to be made, but overall, next couple years are looking brighter for the team.
And I think we have the most debatable one, the Dallas Cowboys. This is a tough one. A lot of people hate Dak Prescott.
Where
no
to
reason.
Start here.
Dak Prescott is a severely underrated quarterback in the NFL. I mean, he goes out every game, throws out 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's insane. And that comes with the help of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. That being said, I think the Cowboys make the playoffs not this year, but the next 3 years.
And they probably first round exit at least
That's-
2 of those years, but they'll be
Yeah.
in there.
And Schottenheimer's not that bad.
Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles. Where do we even put this team? Because
It's weird, yeah.
You have them coming off of a Super Bowl win. Not even a win, but a pretty clear domination over the Chiefs.
And fans want their head coach fired so bad. I mean, they just won the Super Bowl, and they only have like 3 or 4 losses, and
The
they're
thing
already
is-
tired of him.
The thing is, they're blaming Sirianni
Yeah.
for something that is not his fault. If anything, the blame on their offensive coordinator is more where it is.
It's always Nick Sirianni this, Nick Sirianni that, but Nick Sirianni didn't throw 5 yards behind Devontae Smith, did he? Anyway, we have the Washington Commanders, which is 31-0 against the Vikings. Oh my goodness.
I can't tell who's worse, but
Jaden Daniels was supposed to be the guy.
and last year he was.
He was.
He almost won. He almost went to the Super Bowl in his first season as an NFL quarterback. Nobody does that, and he did it. And what happened?
I don't know, Jaden Daniels and Brian Thomas Jr. are just having a slump. You know why? They both went to LSU.
I'm thinking that honestly, Dan Quinn has had a couple too many sideline concussions now, and he's struggling to call his team.
I would too if my running back was who?
Yeah, that's the main problem.
Yeah.
If Washington fixes their running back and probably changes their name back, that might help them. It might work.
I mean, yeah, the Redskins just had a sense of like power behind it.
Yeah.
The Redskins logo just looked like they were about to hit.
The
hard.
Washington Redskins were a better team.
The Washington Redskins were just Sean Taylor.
Mhm.
Anyway, for our last team, we do have the New York Giants. In terms of team, great. In terms of field, not great. The field is going to cause many, many more ACL injuries.
The MetLife curse is going to be the downfall of the Giants. Because they have a lot of promising young players who can become the future of the team and maybe take them to at least one Super Bowl if they're lucky.
I think they do have a great future with Jackson Dart and like Neighbors. However, that turf, I think, is being changed as the NFL, I believe, is enforcing a grass-only stadium rule where every field must be grass and not turf.
Like I said, there's a lot of promise, but coaching is stopping them.
That being said, as long as the team is home at MetLife Stadium, they will not be successful. And that will do it for this episode. It was kind of a speed run, kind of not. If you like these longer type of videos, let us know down in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one.